Right, what do the Royal Challengers Bangalore need ahead of the IPL auction coming up? This is a team that always has such high hopes of them, and they have been in some ways perennial underachievers, so the sort of star power they possess and having not won an IPL title just yet. The work begins at the auction table. They've often come short in auction tables in the past, but as we look at what's left for Virat Kohli and his side, a purse that's remaining of just under 28 crore, and they have 12 slots to fill given the amount of overseas players they let go of. They've only retained AB de Villiers and Moeen Ali from the overseas contingent. Everyone else was out. As we look at that team, which of course Virat Kohli is the fulcrum that they build around, Shivam Dube, Washington Sundar are now regulars for India in T20Is, you'd say, and they try to add to that. But Gaurav Sundararaman, you're in the unenviable position of telling us now what RCB need to add to their team in this IPL auction.
They have a lot of work to do with respect to the overseas department. They have 6 overseas picks and they have only 27 crores, and for most of the slots they're going to get potentially outbid by Kings 11 Punjab or Delhi or even KKR for that matter. So they need to be a bit careful. They've invested a lot in scouting this year, so hopefully they find some X-factor players who come at a very low rate. But I think the biggest targets would be Alex Carey and Glenn Maxwell, because they need to move on from Parthiv Patel at some point in time. And with Kohli ideally looking to bat at 3 with the World Cup coming up, they need 2 openers. And I'm just guessing they might go for guys like Alex Carey to open and keep, and Glenn Maxwell to play the finishing role.
I mean, we keep focusing on RCB's batsmen, but even in their best times, it's been their bowling that's sort of fallen short, and they've let go of their overseas quicks, all of them, not even one of Tim Southee, Nathan Coulter or Dale Steyn was retained. Now you look at Umesh Yadav, Saini and Mohammad Siraj, there is a lot of IPL experience there, and Saini showed promise last year, but at the Chinnaswamy, you'd still want more insurance with your bowling, you'd want a leader of the bowling attack. That purse doesn't excite me as an RCB fan. If I am to try and get a Pat Cummins or a Sheldon Cottrell, it could very well be that some other franchises outbid me, but will they be looking for a leader of the bowling attack, an overseas fast bowler?
I think they should. I think you rightly pointed out that that's been their biggest problem, and half the time they go for 60-70 runs in the last 4 overs. So they need that really good death bowler. And again, who's available? It's the same guys again, Pat Cummins, Chris Morris, guys who have delivered for their country, and the IPL are very few. So I'm not too sure who they will go for with respect to the overseas contingent, which is why I think they would again maybe strengthen their batting and hope that guys like Washington Sundar, Chahal do their job and get a longer run this time.
Well, keep an eye out on what this trans-Tasman pair of the coach and the director of cricket, as Gaurav has pointed out, do. There'll be a lot of interest in the Aussie and the Kiwi players, but there's a lot of work for them to do. So let's see how they go at the IPL auction. This was the Royal Challengers Bangalore preview ahead of that auction on December 19th.